Well, welcome to Age Friendly here on Shaw Spotlight. We're going to be talking about falls prevention, and the month of November is Falls Prevention Month. And we're going to have a couple of guests throughout the segment today, and we're going to be actually showing you what happens if you fall down, and hopefully you don't, but if you do, how you get up. I don't know. We're talking, and we're going to be moving through a video and a variety of things throughout our segment. So enjoy as we go along and talking about falls prevention. First up, Francis Pahalski from the VON. Now, I know what the VON, Francis, is, but what actually is VON mean?
Well, it's a Victorian Order of Nurses.
You've been around a long time.
It's been around 125 years, and it provides nursing services in your home and in the community. And along the way, they got involved with exercising with people to help prevent falls and reduce the impact of the falls. That's been going on about 15 years. Thousands of people in Ontario do this every week, and we have instructors throughout the province, and it's been going on 2 years since COVID.
Right.
Again.
Yeah, and when you talk about the fact that you, VON, a Victorian Order of Nurses, is really involved with falls prevention, and you've only just started doing it, but you do a lot of work in the community to help prevent falls.
We do that. As a matter of fact, all of the nurses who go out to people's homes in their initial assessment, they provide a package with things to look for in your home that put you at risk.
Right.
Here's some exercises you can do and some other resources. And along the way, recently our paramedic organization in the Thunder Bay has got involved with a new program that's rolled out where paramedics are called to a home because of a fall, and they do an approved assessment and sometimes refer them directly to our exercise classes.
Now, picking up on the exercise classes, I do know that they're around in the community. How does one get involved in one of your VON exercise classes?
Well, they can call the office and ask for myself, or they hear from a friend, and a friend brings them down to one of the locations. We're operating in 13 locations in Thunder Bay and 14 locations in the region. We can't actually keep up in the region. More and more places want the exercise program. And if they go to the location, we provide registration right on site. And there's the usual forms to fill out, waivers, that sort of a thing. But we can't keep up with the demand. The feedback we get is very positive.
One of the things, though, that is attractive, particularly for older adults, and maybe for everybody else, but at the same point in time, thinking of an older adult who's on a fixed income, etc., you do not charge for these.
No, this is funded by our Ministry of Health,
right,
and has been for many years, so there's no charge for it at all. And we get our locations free, so it's a contribution from all of these locations that we don't pay rent. And for that, we provide them with an instructor, and anybody who's suitable can participate at no charge.
What about times of day for people to participate?
We have classes every day of the week. We have some in the evening, we have some on the weekends, we have some in the daytime. Of course, everybody wants it exactly the same time. Everybody wants Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's a little hard for us to provide. So we do our best, and sometimes we have to juggle our times, but we do our best to meet the mandate and what people want.
Right. Now, I don't expect you to be able to rhyme off 13 locations. But
I can do it.
Can you really? Well, there we go. So if you can, I'd be interested, if I was watching today, where would I go to be able to do?
Well, we have 4 locations which are community-based.
Right, okay.
So we have Castle Green, we have West Thunder Community Center, St. Dominic's Church, and we have one more on the other side of town at Current River Recreation Center.
So there really are spaced around the city.
Oh,
so
that's
very
all part
important.
of the plan, yes.
Yeah. And then out in the region, you have it in various municipalities, like I'm thinking of like Marathon, et cetera, or no?
We haven't quite made it to Marathon yet, but we have Terrace Bay, Scriburn, Nipigon, Red Rock, Dorian, Fort Francis, Sioux Lookout, Rainy River. We'll be in Kenora in January. We just keep growing in the region.
I know I go to West Thunder for breakfast on Tuesdays. I'm promoting that at the same time, because there's a lot of seniors that go to that. At the same time, there is the exercise program there early in the morning. And there is a lot of people there. Some of them have a chair, some of them don't. And they just it's amazing how many people are showing up for these VON exercise classes.
It's all part of the plan that our instructors are trained to modify the exercises according to the client's needs.
Right.
It gets a little challenging when you have 30 or 40 people in the class, but that's why there's 40 hours of training for them with our accredited program.
Right. Talking about instructors, who is instructing these classes?
We have a variety of folks in the region. We usually get people who want to get some exercise themselves. So these might be people who are working part-time.
Right.
We have some people who are semi-retired, shall we say. Sometimes we get kinesiology students who want to get a little more experience working with the senior population. So we have a wide range, and that's why it takes a full 40 hours plus of training so that everybody's on the same page. And we do modifications according to the clients, and then I go out and supervise that the programs are being done safely and effectively.
Right. Do you find, Francis, over a period of time that you've been involved, that there is really a change in the individuals that are participating in the exercise class, that it really does have an impact for them?
We know that from data. The data is very clear. Right here in Thunder Bay, I was told by a manager at one of the homes where we do this that when we didn't provide the exercise class during COVID, they had a 22% increase in falls. So not only do we prevent the number of falls, but we also help reduce the impact of the falls. If people are stronger and their balance is better, they can reduce how hard they hit the ground, so to speak.
Yeah.
And the data is very clear. Back in February was released the first international study led by a Canadian researcher right here in Ontario, and they found the impact was large. And the number one, after of course you take care of your medical conditions and get those stabilized, the number one thing you could do is balance and strength exercises to reduce it.
So we're talking just like even standing on one leg kind of a thing. We're going to get into some
exercise. She's going to show you a few.
Yeah, and we're going to talk in the next segment for our program today. We're going to actually show people, different kinds of exercises. But when you're going, so if I decided I needed, from listening to the program today, I could just go to phone you first off, the VON, and then go to one of the sites and register right on at that time.
Sure, or they can come into the office and we'll register them right there. As you said, there is no cost, and once the paperwork is done, and of course, if we need medical clearance, which is very rare because the program is so well designed.
Well, the other thing is that people get to make friends, and they network and they socialize, and that's what's really important as well when they're at these exercise classes.
I had 3 calls today from folks who are in our exercise classes just to tell us what a wonderful job it is, and 2 of them mentioned, I get to meet other people and socialize.
That's a perfect way to end our segment. Thank you very much, Francis. Well, we're back with Age Friendly, and we're talking about Falls Prevention Month. And at this segment, we're going to be talking with Lindsay Wyatt, who is the health promotion planner at the Thunder Bay District Health Unit. And we talked to Francis in the last segment about the fact that how important exercise is if you are falling and all the rest of it, so that you don't fall, et cetera. So, Lindsay, when we think about how important exercise is, you're going to be our model today. So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
And when you're doing this, what kind of exercises should I be doing in my home so people in their home, they can actually follow you today, so that will help them against not, preventing falls?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a lot of things that people can do of all physical capabilities.
Right.
As long as you're moving your body at some point, you're getting some sort of physical activity. So for instance, a great way to start is to warm up your heart is to just march in place or do some walking.
Exactly.
You can do it either sitting, and you want to do it for a couple minutes to warm up your body.
Right.
But then you can also do it standing up, and if you need support, you can always hold on to a chair or something sturdy. And you can go at your own pace, whether you want to do it faster or just go slower, high, low.
Is that like kind of walking in place, so
Exactly.
to speak? Okay.
Yeah, and you can do it at your own comfort level, which is great. I would always recommend starting off with this. But then there are many other activities that you can do in the comfort of your own home, such as we're going to start with sitting and work with our ankles. So we can do some ankle rolls here. So you're going to start by going clockwise. And you want to make sure you're doing an even amount because you're also going to switch the way you're going. So now I'm going to do it counterclockwise.
I'm going to interrupt you. When you're talking about like how many times you do it?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh,
so for
okay.
instance, I just did it about 8 times.
Right.
And then you're going to always want to switch your legs if you can and do it again on your other leg.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do 5 clockwise and then 5 counterclockwise so that we're getting the same motion. And then another thing you can do while sitting here is lift one leg up, and then you're going to point your toes towards your face as far as you can, that's comfortable,
right.
and then away from you as far as you can, that's comfortable. And doing this, so this here really stretches your calf, and it's great for strength and balance. And you're going to do this for about 15 times.
And you're going to do it with the other leg.
Exactly,
Which
yes.
you show us. We're good.
Yeah, and then I'm going to switch my legs.
Yeah.
And then you do feel a good workout in the calves, which
Yeah.
is good. But again, you just want to do it to the point of comfort. So if it's uncomfortable, don't stretch that far.
Right. But if you were like sitting watching television or reading a book or whatever were doing, you could be doing this, you know, and all. I'm just doing it myself.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to set aside a specific time if you choose not to.
No, exactly. You can do it when you're eating, when
Right.
you're watching TV, reading, whatever. Yeah.
So what are some other things?
Yeah, some other ones you're going to do, it's kind of mimics a squat, but it's called a chair stand. And what we're
Okay.
going to do is there's different comfort levels. So I'm going to show where you stand up while holding both hands on the arms of the chair. So you're going to stand up slowly, and then you're going to sit back down slowly and supporting yourself with your hands on the arms of the chair. And if that's not a challenge, you can always stand up without your arms or the hands on the arms.
Right.
And for more of a challenge is you can put your hands on your elbows like this, and you're
right.
sitting and standing.
Yeah.
But then again, you want to go at your own comfort level because that one, I'm already a little out of breath from just doing that. It's a good workout.
And you can again do that when you're just sitting around, so to speak. But that's really an important one, that up and down from a chair.
Absolutely. It works out a lot of like most of the body parts, and it's really great.
Right. Okay. Go
And
ahead.
then, yeah, a few other ones you can do include, I recommend having support for this one of some sort. So you're going to lift your heels up while you're standing on your toes.
All right.
This, again, works the calves a lot.
Like the chair that you're using is not the best in regards. You should have something that's like for both your hands are at the same level would be better.
Yeah, but then
Okay.
you can also do it sitting down as well.
Oh, all right.
So when you're sitting, you're going to sit closer to the front of the chair
Right.
and then lifting your heels up
Oh,
with your
okay.
toes remaining on the ground.
All right, that makes sense.
And then
Yeah.
you can also do the same thing, but opposite, is having your heels on the ground and lifting your toes up. And again, you can do that sitting or standing.
So it's really stretching a lot of the muscles in the legs, isn't
It is, yeah. So strength and balance is very big for fall prevention.
Right.
It's a very important aspect
When
of
we
it.
talk about, I always think about balance. Is that like on one leg too?
Yeah, you can do balancing, of course.
Can you show us how you do that?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. So even if you just want to practice standing
Right.
on one leg, and if you're able to, you can go onto your toes. But that, again, it depends on people's comfort levels and
Right.
physical abilities.
Okay. Well, that seems to be very easy to do this, and it's something. Should you do it like all the time, or?
Yeah, as much as you can or as much as you're able to.
All right. Now, if you got any more of that, because I'm going to go into another thing I want to
Yeah,
talk
so
about.
if for more information, you can always reach out to the VON or the Thunder Bay District Health Unit for more exercises.
And there are a number if you wanted to.
Of course.
All right. Now, unfortunately, sometimes people fall. My understanding is that most falls happen in the home.
That's correct.
And that's very sad, but it does. So you are going to be our model again and fall on the kitchen floor in our
Yes.
studio. So show me what happens. How do you get up after that?
Absolutely. And
That's
it's
a real,
something that people should practice
Yes.
even if they haven't fallen, because it's better to be prepared than not prepared.
right. So you're going to get down.
So I'm going to get down
Thank
as
you for
if
doing this for
you're
us.
welcome.
Yes.
I had a fall. And so the first thing I'm gonna do is catch my breath. I'm
Right.
probably gonna be a little winded and in shock. And I'm gonna take my time and just try to be as relaxed as possible. And then what I'm gonna do now is just assess myself for injuries. I wanna make sure nothing's broken,
Right.
I'm not bleeding, and that I'm not in severe discomfort. And then now that I've done that, I'm gonna try to put myself on my side And then I'm gonna maneuver myself to a piece of furniture that's very sturdy. And then I'm gonna put both my hands on here. I'm gonna try my best to get onto my knees, put my dominant foot or my strongest foot in front of me, and with my arms as weight as also my foot, I'm gonna lift myself and put myself back onto the chair.
Right.
And that's very important for people to know. And if by chance people have fallen and they can't get up, what you're gonna wanna do is make noise so people can hear you potentially. And if you are by a phone, try your best to get by a phone so you can call for help.
Right.
Or just make noises as loud as possible if you think someone can hear you. But then it's also really important to note that if you have fallen, you should tell your doctor.
Because it could affect something else in your body as well as, maybe you're...
Absolutely.
Right, and you never know that for sure. Important though, I smile and when I say this, and the fact that when I didn't fall, I got down on the floor because I wanted to do something, and then getting back up, you might not have fallen, but even to get back up is sometimes a challenge. I had to crawl, seriously, I had to crawl over to a chair and pull myself back up. And it's something that you have to recognize that you need to have help once in a while.
Oh yeah, it takes a lot of upper body strength to just get yourself up.
That's right. And I think that you're helping with the exercises. How often should I do those exercises?
You can do them for about 20, 25 minutes a day is great.
Right.
But then there are other exercises that you can do as well, but just walking around your house. And then if you have dishes you need to put away, instead of putting, let's say, 4 plates at once, just put one from the dishwasher or the sink and just move your arms to where you want to go.
I think between you and Francis, you've said to us in our program thus far, is the fact how important it is to move. You need to move.
Exactly.
And maybe as older adults, we don't quite do that as often as we should, but you've helped us very much today. And thank you very much for this, Lindsay. Lindsay Watt, our guest, and talking about falls prevention and what you do and how to exercise and make sure that you take the time every day to exercise and strengthen your body. Well, welcome back to Age Friendly. We're talking about Falls Prevention Month throughout the month of November. And our last segment, we're going to be talking to Judy Martin from the Health Unit. And the fact is, the Health Unit, it's not just the city of Thunder Bay, Judy, it's the whole district, really.
Well, the public health district, so
Correct.
Which is a little bit different. We don't go as far as Kenora. That
Right.
They have their own district coming east. Would be, but we serve Thunder Bay, Geraldton, Long Lac, also known as Greenstone, Marathon, Red Rock, Scriber, Terrace, and Terrace Bay.
So it's a lot. It's a big territory.
It is a big territory.
And when we talk about the fact that we have health promotions throughout Canada and all the rest of it, because there's health units in different communities, etc. But falls prevention is also throughout Canada.
It is, yes. It's
Important.
It is very important.
Right. And is it something that you bring different partners together with for under the health unit?
We absolutely do.
Yeah.
Age Friendly Thunder Bay is a very important partner.
Right.
We also partner with Francis, with VON, with the Community Paramedicine Program. Thunder Bay Regional often will seek stats from them. Thunder Bay 55 Plus Center. And there's a lot of community groups. There's actually a fall prevention kind of a little different group that's in Shunya, just that they do exercise classes on a regular basis as well.
So there's lots, but let's go back to the falls. When you have falls, that's a significant impact on adults, and it actually can cause people can die from falling.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, I'm just joking there. Even they can wind up in the hospital, etc. That's significant.
It's extremely significant and really important to know. And I think that a lot of people don't think about it until it happens.
Right.
Often, as we age, people are thinking, what are my finances? Where are my grocery situation, especially right now?
Right.
Transportation. But falls are so unexpected, but the results can be serious injury or devastating, long-term care. and quite often death. Actually, the stats are kind of scary.
And to think that it's older adults that get impacted in this way.
For the most part, I mean, I think we could all admit that we've all fallen like once in our life or a few times in our life. Obviously, young children are affected too. That is sort of the second falls, highest statistics, but it affects seniors really the most. And we can do stuff about it. That's what's important.
As Lindsay showed us in the last segment, the fact of exercising, and Francis mentioned that in the first segment, and now the impact during COVID, the number of falls because people weren't exercising and going out and everything, that really had an impact on what was happening.
It sure did. And I've actually attended a couple of local health fairs, including one in the district recently, and a lot of older adults were asking about that and saying how they missed it, and trying to figure out things to do. And it isn't always that easy just to say, oh, go online and you can find a program there, because often seniors aren't interested in doing that.
One of the things, though, in some of the notes that I've prepared for today's chat, was the fact that there are multiple and interacting risk factors for falls. So can you identify some of those?
Yes. Yeah. So the research tells you it's a multifactorial system really that works the best. But as Francis was saying and Lindsay's saying, and we from the health unit also support this, and World Health Organization, is exercise and strength and balance is your number one. Right. If you're capable of doing it. But also you need to have your eyes checked regularly, your hearing checked, have a medication of review, especially if you get something new or stop a medication. And your pharmacist is probably best to do that. Your doctor will give you that medication, but they're really good at being thorough about that. Also, just basic education, like what we're trying to do here. Right. And have a home risk assessment, and Francis alluded to that in the home paramedicine program.
And I'm going to, because we're going to run out of time, and I want to talk about the fact that we are going to show a video at the very end about walking like a penguin. And we have Lindsay, our model, who is here, Lindsay Watt, our model, and she's going to show us, and then we're going to go back and finish off. But Lindsay, come into the set and talk to and show us, because you don't have a microphone on. But Judy's going to explain about walking like a penguin, and you're dressed as though you're out in the snow. Go ahead, Judy.
Okay,
what do you do here?
So, legs apart, toes out, hands free for balance, and keeping an eye on your environment in front of you. Just walk slowly and carefully ahead.
It looks funny, but it works. It really, really works.
And I think we have a tendency as well,
Thanks,
just
Lindsay.
to, when it's slippery and icy out, I think
that we just
try to go a little slower, and
that's right. So what are the other things? We only have a few seconds left, Judy. So what are the other things that are going to be happening this month for November for falls prevention?
So Thunder Bay District Health Unit is supporting Falls Prevention Month by 100%. We're having a campaign, so there'll be radio ads, there'll be interior bus posters like on our transit system. We'll have social media.
All kinds of things.
All kinds of events.
Very important.
Yeah.
But we're going to finish the program this afternoon or this evening with the actual video, Walking Like a Penguin, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. And make sure that when you're out, Judy, and I want to say thank you to you and to Lindsay and to Francis for being our guests today and informing the community how important it is that they don't fall and what they need to be doing so that they don't. So here you can watch Walk Like a Penguin.
Hi, I'm Linda DePiro, and today I'm going to show you a core movement matrix. So we're working in 3 dimensions, sagittally, forward and back, side to side in a frontal plane laterally, and then in a transverse plane in rotation. So widening your legs, turn the toes out a little bit, find where the top of your femur, your leg, meets the pelvis. Keep your back flat as you hinge forward. So just hinge forward and come back up. So as you can tell, we're working forward and back. Come down a little further, listening to your own body, of course, taking it up, going into a bit of extension. And if you like, you can take it a little further into extension, reaching up, breathing in. So that is your sagittal forward and back, working in a frontal plane, and it's side to side, right? Working laterally. We're gonna add a little bit more with the lean. Breathe in, exhale to lean. And again, there's your upper body. And then we can integrate lower body as well, coming up and over, inhale and exhale. It's really important to work in these different range of motion. Coming down, pressing into the side. This is your transverse plane. Climb a little higher with your hands. You can feel those rotators work. And if you release your opposite heel, you're rotating and pressing back. A little bit more range, down and rotate, lifting that opposite heel and rotate. Breathe in. Now let's transfer the weight onto one foot, reach up, and you're balancing and holding. Try the other side. Perhaps they're not the same. Good, so it's very important to work in these 3 ranges of motion. We do it every day when we get in and out of a vehicle, but you do it with ease. So hang in there and keep working in all those 3 areas. Have a good one.